there are lots of people, I know employers, I've talked to some friends who are employers, who will have people come to them and say, well, I won't even apply for that job if it isn't 3 days a week working from home. The balance has shifted, hasn't it? And the world of work has changed, hasn't it, Dr. Soomro?
There is a tug of war and tension between employers and employees around this. But one thing moving forward with what we see is that 5 days work in office, that concept, I think to a great extent is dead. So
but should it be dead? Should people be forced back, do you think? Or should they? Is this just the way it happens? What do you think?
That's a good point. I mean, bosses,
what do you think?
I think that, in terms of the excitement, bosses need to take time to consider why employees are not excited to come back to work. That needs to be addressed. I think that's the root cause. So free lunch and free gym at office, I think those are not the reasons to invite employees to come back to work and force them to work. Secondly, as a change management consultant in terms of management research, as Professor was mentioning, we've always seen that there will be resentment when you ask about a change. So people have adjusted to working from home or working from anywhere. So now this return to office or return to past RTP U-turn, this has to be treaded with, with caution. So I'm not in favor of full-time remote work, but what I'm saying is that hybrid work is the future, and companies should be open towards it.
We need to go back to the office. It's not because the employers tell us to do that. It's because it's how you contribute to society. It's how you contribute to solidarity. It's where you learn things, as was your personal experience. There are all these merits of work, despite the toxic reputation that the office has.
Quick final word from Dr. Mansoor Soomro, please, on what you've heard today.
Yes, I agree with it in part, but the point is that the notion around working from home and then return to office, the main notion that is being presented is presenteeism. And what we see is that it's more about purposeful presence rather than passive attendance and, card swiping and, protocols around attendance. What we fear is that with employers forcing the return to work, we're talking more about presenteeism. We want to see whether you're there. So I think that's not where we are heading in terms of digital economy, gig economy, and the future of work.
Thank you both very, very much indeed. Dr. Mansoor Soomro, who is the Innovation Lead at the Future of Work Research Centre, somewhat aptly joining us by Zoom, and Professor James Woudhuysen, Visiting Professor at South Bank University, who is rather aptly in the studio here.